Hey there, Descendants, my fellow Americans and people in other countries around the world. How are y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Before we get into today's video, if you do enjoy my content and you would like to see more, please do consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Just trying to get to 1,000 subs. Today, we're going to be talking about where the community's head is at a little bit and sort of providing my thoughts on people's opinions of the game at the moment. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we get into this, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna be brutally honest with what I think of what people are saying. So if that's not your thing, feel free to click off of my video. Let's go ahead and start it though. I'm having a great time right now, somebody says. Harris has been so much fun to play. Ancestor mods were a fantastic idea and gives me a reason to play Sigma when I otherwise wouldn't need to anymore. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was saying a couple of months ago, right? Where they're going to revitalize older areas with newer materials or newer things to obtain. So, you know, Supermassive and the new Void Vessel are actually somewhat challenging. I agree. And Lava Turtle, I think, is my favorite Abyss boss yet. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Someone else says to retire just like Warframe and ESO. Okay, then whatever. Um, Next person says, game is definitely moving towards the right direction. Another plus is that the devs listen to what the players have to say slash suggest. Yes! Finally someone gets it, man. Swords were a great addition to the game and opened up a new way of engaging enemies in battle. Yeah, for sure. But like I've said a couple times now, if I want melee, I'll just play Elden Ring. Are there hiccups? Of course there are, but which game doesn't suffer from those? And the devs do try to correct these hiccups as soon as they can. Yep, I agree. I also like the fact that newer content comes at slightly higher difficulty, which actually forces players to work together. Yes. Yes. Hardcore agree with that. And they say that there's no synergy between teammates. Okay. I hope we will see more good content in 2026. Don't worry, my friend. We will. And maybe some new stuff like Transcendent weapons, Transcendent mods for weapons, etc. Somebody else says game is on life support. Okay. Tell me you're a moron without telling me you're a moron. Game is what's known as a ripoff. No new content, just more bouncing AI booba. Okay. I mean, you're free to think that, but you're genuinely wrong. World chatted before is willing to goon, now is willing to buy slash sell. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been wanting to play or grind, just skins, but no content that is worth. They keep giving things out. Okay. So they keep giving things out. So since when is free stuff an issue? Okay. If you don't think the content is worth it, then that's fine. You know, you don't have to like the stuff that they put out. No one does, you know what I mean? But to say that they're only putting out skins is disingenuous to the game and to the developmental team. So, someone else says, still playing. Not sure I'm going to use the trade system, but good for those that need that option. Yes. Happy with the new outfits and having fun upgrading my Descendants. Only missing 5 or 6 with the trigger module, I think she meant, not RK. Some might need to fix their build and make it more optimal. Can't wait for Ultimate Eugen. Yeah, I'm excited for Ultimate Eugen too. Okay, I agree with that. I stopped playing, honestly, with the 1,000 hours I gave up. Had all max till last update. Kept dreaming of dungeon / guild party style content, actual content, but now, Okay. I mean, I do think that guilds are coming at some point, right? Because a lot of people do ask for it, you know. So I wouldn't give up hope on it just yet. But in terms of party style content, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, this game, one of the game's greatest strengths is you can play either solo or in a party, you know, like, and it is more geared slightly more towards solo play, but you can also play in a party. You can either enjoy the game by yourself or enjoy it with your friends. So they focus more on promiscuous outfits than making content that lasts. Okay, I mean, that's true to a minor extent, yeah. But I mean, these guys, they need money. You know what I mean? Like, it's a business at the end of the day. And the content that they're providing, they're moving away from siloed content. So, if that isn't blatantly obvious to everyone at this point, you're just willfully being ignorant towards the direction that the game is heading in. But I mean, I really like Supermassive Dungeon. I like it a lot. You know, I think it's very fun. I don't, and here's the thing, right? I don't forcefully make myself sit through it for hours on end. You know, so I'm not fatigued by it. I'm not tired of it. I'm still willing to play it. You know, so listen, man, if you're burning through the content and you understand that if you do that, you won't have any content for X amount of time, at that point, it's your own fault. Um, but I digress. I don't know what to say, but I think the game is heading towards death. So, okay, I don't agree with that for a number of reasons. So, firstly, this game has its dedicated core player base, right? The people who are going to be here no matter what, who enjoy the game no matter what, such as I, you know, and other content creators and so on and so forth. Nemos games, low budget gaming, namely off the top of my head. So I don't think that the game would die, but would it have a cutoff in players? Absolutely. You know, drop off in players for sure. Um, these developers are putting more emphasis on how to get as much money from players as fast as possible, rather than finding a way to attract new players and keep the current ones. Okay, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from with this for sure, but so again, you know, they're moving away from siloed content, right? Which means that players, new and old alike, are going to have more things to do. There's going to be more reasons to play the game, you know? Like, Sigma has had 2 or 3 newer things added to it in the past month or two, right? So, you know, like, they're revitalizing older areas of the game. They've already started doing that. I said that they were going to start doing that next year, right? But here we are, not even December yet, and they've already started doing that. So, you know, next year I'm going to keep saying this, but next year is going to really shape the game up, and people are actually going to see what I've been saying all this time, and they're going to be like, "Oh my God," you know what I mean? People are going to start genuinely enjoying the game. The developers have been listening more and more with each and every update that comes out. Okay. There are some things that are exempt from that, such as the keyboard glitch, which still needs to be fixed. Nexon, please and thank you. Um, but I mean, I can't agree. I can see where you're coming from with saying, you know, attracting new players and keeping current ones. Like they're not really doing that. But at the same time, right? They also understand that they have their dedicated player base, the ones who are going to play the game no matter what. So right now, they're kind of more so, I feel like, appealing to those versus trying to appeal to everybody. They're also, you know, providing major quality of life updates. You know, they made the Void Vessel grind like twice as easy as it was versus when it first came out. So, anyway, let's move on though. To be honest, very little to do. I'm down to 5 minutes a day, then play something else. Okay. This is one of those things, right? Like if you already maxed out the new weapon and you're going to complain that you have nothing to do, then that's okay. If you understand, and this guy has been around in the community, I've seen him around. If you understand that the content, as soon as you burn through it, you're going to have to wait for other content, and you continuously do that, and you blame the game for that, that's not the game's fault. That's your fault. 100%. I'm down to 5 minutes a day, then play something else. Adding trading is good start to longevity, but I feel the next update is make or break because we've all said no to another void vessel type mission. Okay, make or break is so. What he's implying here is that the next update could, you know, oh, make the game great, or, you know, kill it, which is genuinely fucking retarded. Okay, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. No, there's no update. There's nothing that they could do to the game to break it, right? Yeah, they could lose players, but you know, as I've been saying, we get a small handful of new players every day, right? And you know, I've actually had a couple of new players who still play the game. They didn't leave the game. They still play it. They still enjoy it. You know, so the most important thing is, right, is that you enjoy yourself while you play this game. You know what I mean? If you're forcing yourself to sit through things that you don't like, if you're running Supermassive back to back, if you're running Void Vessel back to back, whatever the case is, you're not going to like the game that much. I'm sorry, but if you're forcefully making yourself do things in the game that you don't want to do just to, I don't know, get the new content as soon as possible, it's like, why is it that deep, man? I don't understand that. I don't understand. The only time I did that was with Ultimate Luna and the dogs and stuff like that. But then after that, I genuinely learned my lesson. I was like, okay, like I don't want to, dislike the game. I don't want to dislike the new areas that they add, so I'm not going to burn myself out of these areas within the first few days that they come out. Um, but no, there is no make or break when it comes to this game, if you ask me. Because like I said, they're always going to have their core player base. So, great game. I haven't played since season one, but I have the same problem with this as I do with other MMOs. I'll grind out for like 2 to 3 weeks and then be ready for something else. I mean, yeah, okay, I can see that. Um, and that's why breaks are important, right? So you don't want to like force yourself to play this for 5, 6, 8 hours a day for weeks in a row, and then like expect yourself to want to play it, for a while after that. Take breaks, you know. And yeah, I mean, just enjoy the game as it is. You know what I mean? And if you have an issue with something, voice that to the developers. Send them a message. Someone else said it as direction. Yes, it does. Grinded and maxed all items. Okay, hell yeah. Someone else said lost interest. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we got a long one here. Holy shit. I'm gonna go through a couple more. I thought I could do all of them, but now I realize, no, that's not happening. Okay. It is genuinely moving way too slowly. Okay. Um, all right. The things they have added, like player homes, I think he means the lounge, and trading are extremely minimal. Okay. So there's a couple of things wrong with this. Launch 2.0 is coming on the 4th. I don't know how that's not common knowledge by now. I don't know why people don't actually like take note of the developer live streams and stuff like that and the stuff that they're adding. But the developer lounge, the launch 2.0 is coming December 4th. The lounge overhaul is coming in less than 2 weeks. I don't understand how that's not common knowledge. And trading is minimal. It's the beta. It's the first implementation of it, dude. Now, do I agree that we should be able to walk up to other players and just initiate a trade? Fuck yeah, absolutely I do. The way that they've implemented this is like, I don't know, fucking, it's like old school RuneScape era trading, like where you have to go through all these hoops to do the trade and stuff like that. Which is, I mean, it's not bad, you know what I mean? But there should be more ways to do it. And I'm sure that on the 4th, there will come a slight overhaul to the trading system. Axion is still stuttering, feels empty, while the only positives to me have been Sigma Sector earlier this year and the recent additions to Void Vessel. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's genuinely true. I think they need to focus more on that kind of content, but with more generative content with different objectives, so the replayability doesn't start to cause burn-in right away. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's definitely a really good idea. I got to give you props for that. The swords, while they themselves are nice additions, just feel off using ammo. I mean, yeah, but if you hyper focus on that, I mean, dude, you have to have a suspension of disbelief. It's a video game. They went with the Destiny style of balance while failing to see that the reason Destiny does it is because of their PvP scene. I mean, okay. I don't know if that's true or not, so I can't speak on that. I still believe the game has a lot of potential and the story-driven stuff for me proves it, but right now, even with the new weapons and characters, it just doesn't feel fun. Okay. So again, if you're feeling like, okay, the game, you're having your fill of the game, just take a break. Just log in, get your daily login, and that's it, right? Just log off, go play something else, go do something else. You know what I mean? This game isn't all there is to life, right? Not everyone has to be a content creator who plays it for X amount of time, days on end. Okay. But no, I mean, everything he's saying besides the first sentence is extremely fair. There's nothing getting me to come back at least once a week, and the player base dwindling, at least to me, is showing a similar sentiment towards the game. If nothing of genuine replay value is added next season, I think I won't be playing the game again. It's been fun here and there, but it's failing to meet the standards set by Warframe, and to clarify, it doesn't need to have 12 years worth of content by next season. That's just unrealistic, but it does need some kind of replayable mission with different objectives and the map being slightly different every time to keep it from getting stale quickly. I mean, that's why they did Sigma, right? And that's why they're adding new content, new materials to Sigma. You know what I mean? Like, Sigma is still, to this day, probably my favorite area in the game to play. I love Sigma, dude. It's so fucking fun. And I love speedrunning it. Okay, so let's see here. In terms of skins, I've honestly given up. They've that they'd add anything good. So far, it's been a lot of bikinis and stuff along those lines. Idle animations are really bad in my opinion, with nothing differentiating any of the characters from one another. For the amount of skins we've been getting, I've been really hoping we'd get different idle animations by now, but I don't think that's coming at all now. Okay, so I was talking about this on stream last night, or not last night, the other day with my buddy Ruin. Shout out to you, Ruin. I know you're watching this. Um, so idle animations are coming. The new idle animations will absolutely come at some point. It's just there's a lot more on their priorities list right now that, precedes it, right? So, but yeah, idle animations are coming 100%. It's going to happen. Trust me on that. It's something that I myself want, right? I'll make a suggestions video either tomorrow or Friday. And I'm going to put a lot of stuff in there, and idle animations will be one of them. But I don't expect it to happen. I mean, honestly, even by January next year, right? I'm going to give them a little bit of time, to kind of fluff out their priorities list, get their shit done. You know what I mean? Because it's a business at the end of the day, and there are more important things that they need to attend to in the game. So let's go through two more. All right. Someone else said, I know they want to make money by trying to get us to buy more caliber to use in the trade market for the mods. Having the cost so high to roll red mods, though, that's swamp ass. It needs to be lowered. If they don't nickel and dime us when they release reds into the market, the game will be just fine. Okay, yeah. So this is something. He's talking about the cost of the superconductive cooling unit. Oh wow. Okay. He's talking about the cost of the superconductive cooling unit. With re-rolling the red Transcendent modules. The ancestor mods. So that's something that will be lowered. We don't even have to ask for that. It's just going to happen. They're going to see it from the data. People interacting with re-rolling the red mods. They stop at a certain point, right? And they're going to see that people are not going to be really interacting with that system very much, and they're going to be like, okay, well, the reason for it probably is because we made it ridiculously expensive after about 5, 6, or 7 rolls, right? So, but yeah, I agree that it does need to be lowered, but it will be. So, yeah. All right, last one, then we're gonna get out of here. I have mixed feelings about the game. I understand the people who say that we need content and not skins because they release an enormous amount of skins and they are not cheap. Okay, so there is some. I use that word very lightly, loosely. There is some credence to this. Okay, there is some truth to this, but the age-old thing that we've been retorting with as a community is the developmental team for the new content is different from the developmental team for the skins. That's just what it is. And of course, this is him. Of course, it isn't a must to buy them. My problem is that way back, if you needed something, you had to farm, but not the exact same shit over and over. You had 400% outposts, reactors, etc. Colossus, and now you need to grind the same boring mission. Okay, so if you need cores, where do you go? You go to the Purge. If you need, void fragments, where do you go? 400%, right? I mean, there's a couple of different areas you can get them in, all this stuff, and then I think I don't know what all Wall Crasher drops, but I know that he drops stuff that you can get in other areas. But okay, so I think he's talking about the newest content, but we're moving away from siloed content. I played at least 100 times the new Void Vessel, and I could not create one of the swords because I always got the resource box or gold. The target rewards about 1.5% of mission. No, it's not. That's only if you target every single blueprint of the sword, which is a mistake. And they should explain this to us, but they don't. But maybe you should have tried it with just one blueprint first. But that's not your fault, right? You didn't know that. Ancestor mods are good, but the reroll is expensive. Yep. Material cost for the new weapon is too high. Lower drop rates and higher material costs for more grind from the same mission do not count as content for me. Okay. 50 per is not that expensive, especially considering you can get the jackpot, which gives you 100, which would give you 2 parts instantly for the new weapon, at a 5% chance. But that's if you get it right. So I can understand where he's coming from a little bit, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff that he's saying is stuff that they're moving away from anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. And obviously, he doesn't realize that. No, that is on him. If you don't understand by this point that they're moving away from silo content, that's your own fault. I don't know what to tell you. Um, but yeah, God, this is a long recording, dude. Good God. All right, so that about does it, though. Um, Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you, and you should really consider subscribing because I have more content like this coming. Um, and I appreciate you. So yeah, I think I'm gonna head out now, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.